Ms Legalista here. I have been having some internet issues. I wouldn't be surprised if the videos I've recorded recently just have all kinds of lag going on. I've tried to close out a bunch of stuff, and let me do that while I'm sitting here. Just get some stuff closed out. I want to talk about Lunchables, okay? This lawsuit against Kraft Heinz for these Lunchables, and I'm actually going to do another video that goes through all of the different products because there was actually an attachment to this lawsuit, and this lawsuit was just filed a few days ago. So there has not been an answer, and of course we expect the answer is going to be full of denials. However, we're going to jump into the lawsuit even without having that yet. And like I said, I am going to do another video that covers all of the different products because there's a whole list of them. Caught me off guard. I was not quite expecting that. But let's go ahead and take a look at this class action complaint by Laura Laspisa out of the Southern District of New York, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing her name right, but we're going to hope that I'm getting it right. And Lunchables is manufactured, I guess, produced by Kraft Heinz. You'll see here it says against defendant Kraft Heinz Foods Company, or it's going to be called Kraft Heinz in this document. In this particular video, I want to give this preliminary statement some time. I want to go through this sort of background that they're talking about. And a lot of times in these opening statements, there's all this information. It's sort of like, well, let me tell you a story before we get into what I have the real issue with, or break down the counts that I'm going to say that all of the stuff that you engaged in. So we're going to start with this preliminary statement and read through this in this particular video. So it says, this action seeks to redress the false, misleading, and deceptive advertising and packaging claims that defendant has made in connection with the sale of its pre-packaged meal kits sold under the name Lunchables. For over 30 years, parents have purchased Lunchables products, trusting them to be a safe and nutritious snack option for their children. That parental trust, as it turns out, was misplaced. As recently proven by Consumer Reports, Kraft Heinz's Lunchables meal kits are contaminated with levels of heavy metals that no reasonable parent would want their children to eat in a single meal. Well, there you go. We have started this war now. First introduced in the 1980s, Lunchables are the ultimate convenience food. Yes, they are, right after Hot Pockets, whose packaging promises consumers a fun, protein-packed, and fresh alternative to a conventional from-scratch meal. Kraft Heinz sells more than 30 different kinds of Lunchables meal kits and snack kits, 3 varieties of which, Lunchables turkey and cheddar cracker stackers, Lunchables pizza with pepperoni, and Lunchables easy cheese pizza. This is like a tongue twister. If you can make it through this, like, you win the case. Were tested by Consumer Reports and found to contain high levels of lead and cadmium, as well as phthalates. A complete list of Kraft Heinz's Lunchables meal kits and snack kits, including the 3 varieties tested by Consumer Reports, are attached hereto as Exhibit A and referred to herein as Kraft Heinz Lunchables, or class products. Remember, this is a class action that they're trying to do here. And I love it when they include pictures. Although in this case, it was already in my head. And if you are reading this video, it was probably already in your head too. Like, you didn't need to know what this looked like because you already knew. All right, Kraft Heinz Lunchables are sold widely throughout New York State in grocery and convenience stores. Lunchables are marketed primarily at and for consumption by children with their building kits, such as the turkey and cheddar cracker stackers, encouraging children to play creatively with their food before they eat it. The appeal to parents is captured by the Lunchables slogan, "Foods kids love and parents trust." You gotta admire the attorneys for using their own words, using Kraft's own words against them. Same sort of thing if you go back and look at my Splenda, same sort of deal. It's like a company's claiming to be wholesome and to source their products a certain way. And then what you don't tell people is that, we didn't source those from Splenda. We actually got those from People's Republic of China, and we're not telling you. So this sort of, I'm going to take what you're putting out here and say, nope, this is false advertising. This is deceptive. But in this case, we're talking about, hey, Lunchables that children are eating. And you can see the pictures there. This is like the top of the container. Look, it's got the protein, 100% freshness guaranteed, food kids love and parents trust. Yeah, because that's why you buy it, right? You're thinking it's going to be good for your kids. Plaintiff Laura Laspisa and other class members are New York consumers who trusted Lunchables and purchased the products, believing them to be safe and nutritious for their children to consume. Recently, however, Consumer Reports released findings from a study demonstrating that Lunchables are not a good choice for a child's lunch. Of particular concern, the study, which tested 12 store-bought lunch and snack kits, found that Lunchables contained high levels of lead and cadmium, as well as phthalates, a group of chemicals used to make plastic more durable, which can leach into any food containing fat and be absorbed by the human body. Now, notice what your Lunchables are packed in, and you aren't surprised that there may be some sort of leaching going on there. I don't know. But look at the colorful packaging. Look at what it's made out of. And then ask yourself if you are truly that surprised. I'm just saying, not making any claims about this. Lead is a potent neurotoxin that can accumulate in the body over time and is harmful to children at any level. Cadmium and phthalates are also contaminants that are especially hazardous to children. Consumers like Plaintiff Laura Laspisa and similarly situated class members trust and expect that the food they purchase will not contain any harmful substance that can cause harm to themselves or their children. Prior to learning about the results of the Consumer Reports study, Ms Laspisa had no reason to know and did not know that Lunchables contained harmful substances such as lead, cadmium, and phthalates. Yeah, who would have thought? Unwilling to feed their children contaminated food with high lead levels, cadmium, and phthalates, Ms. Laspisa and thousands of other consumers in New York have discarded or will discard Lunchables meal and snack kits, rendering their purchases of the products worthless. And you can see down here at the bottom where they have the actual Consumer Reports issue that had this report in it. Should you pack Lunchables for your kids' school lunch? And then here you go. It says, thus plaintiff and other class members have suffered an economic loss as a result of defendant's conduct. Okay, that's number one. Defendant has improperly, deceptively, and misleadingly labeled and marketed their Lunchables products to reasonable consumers like Ms. Laspisa as a food parents trust, and by omitting and not disclosing that Lunchables are contaminated with lead, cadmium, and phthalates. This omission leads reasonable consumers to believe they are purchasing a product that is safe and nutritious for their children to consume when, in fact, it is not. As a result, consumers such as Ms. Laspisa and other class members have been injured by paying for an unsafe product which they cannot feed their families and which they will have to discard. In short, Kraft Heinz has betrayed the trust of parent consumers throughout New York. And then you have the parties there. She actually lives in White Plains, New York. She's a mother whose children enjoys eating Lunchables. It said they had the Lunchables Easy Cheesy Pizza and the Lunchables Pizza with pepperoni. And then, of course, you have the Kraft Heinz Food Company, jurisdiction, choice of law, and then factual background. And I'm going to save that for round 2 of another video. But you get the gist now of the background information regarding this lawsuit. And like I said, this just came out a couple of days ago, so it's too early for them to have submitted an answer. Now, I know a lot of parents rely on prepackaged foods and snacks for their children. I know I did when my daughter was much younger. And you know, you're thinking that these foods are safe. Now, I'm not saying that the food is not safe. I'm just saying here is what has been presented in this lawsuit. This is what is in the complaint. This is what they are alleging. And they're also saying a lot of these parents have thrown this stuff out as a result of reading this report or hearing about some of what was presented in this report. So let me know, do you buy Lunchables for your kids? Have you stopped buying Lunchables for your kids? You know, parents are working. They're doing the best that they can. Tell me what's going on. Is Lunchables a thing for you anymore or not? Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to stick around for part 2, and peace.